As Cassandra said, I'm Anna with the Henry B. González Convention Center. Excuse me. I am the senior event coordinator here at the center, and I am the lead event coordinator working on PitCon. So we are going to go over just some policies and procedures that are really important at our building, just so you're familiar with that before you arrive to the building. We're so excited to have you all here in San Antonio. So here's just a quick overview of what we're going to be discussing. So the check-in process, our loading docks, shipping and receiving, trash disposal, exhibit booth, and food and beverage, and then just a quick list of some prohibited items we tend to see on the show floor a lot. Okay, so for our check-in process, we have the entry location and check-in point location for contractors, EACs, will be back behind our building at the security booth on the loading dock. I have a slide that'll show where those are. Contractors have to check in daily with our security staff with their government issued ID. They get a wristband every time that they're here at the building. It changes colors every day. So every day you must check in and get a new wristband. For exhibitors and staff members for the organization that are setting up the booth, you can normally enter in through the front of the building. However, if you have not received your exhibitor credentials yet, you will need to follow the same check-in process to go around to the back of the building to check in with security staff to get that same wristband. Once you have your exhibitor credentials, you can enter in through the main doors. The building has 2 loading docks available that will be utilized for PitCon. Freemen will be the dock masters of the space, so they'll control who gets in when, depending on the line of POVs and trucks that they have to get into the dock space. So please keep that in mind. You'll also, POVs, drivers coming in that way, will still also have to check in with our security to get that wristband as well, just so we know who's in the building. When POVs are permitted in the loading dock, Cassandra mentioned some of the services that Freeman provides to assist with offloading and unloading. Please note that you are permitted a 20-minute parking pass to unload or load your vehicle from the loading docks. Someone doesn't have to stay with the vehicle throughout that process. We just ask that you put a good phone number on the parking pass so that if our staff has to get a hold of you, we're able to contact you. Again, please stick to the 20-minute window. Something else to note is that while vehicles are allowed in the loading dock, they are not allowed to drive into the exhibit halls and unload. We also ask that while there are ramps that enter into the space, please do not park or block those ramps because they're needed in case EMS has to get into the building. While you're at the building, you'll also see that there's a loading zone in the front of the building. This is strictly for pickups, drop-offs, and emergency vehicles should we have an emergency on the building site. If you are trying to unload things from that spot, you need to just go around to the loading dock in the back to unload. We have to keep that lane open, please. So please keep that in mind. And then here's a quick view of the loading docks. So where the 2 red circles are on this map are the check-in points with our security staff. We're utilizing the east loading docks and the west loading docks. We've got a lot of bays. So hopefully we can get you in and out quickly when you're here to load in or move out. Shipping and receiving. This is a big one. We do not have a shipping and receiving officer or additional storage. Cassandra mentioned the advanced warehouse shipping directly to them. We highly recommend that just to ensure that you don't have any delays getting your packages. If you do not want to ship to the warehouse, Freeman's warehouse, please ensure that your deliveries are not coming before the acceptable date of your show contract start date. We cannot receive packages, so we will turn them away. This is Amazon deliveries, UPS, USPS, FedEx. Please make sure that's coming after the start date of the contracted dates. Trash disposal. So we have rolling receptacles that we'll put out throughout the building while you're in move out and move in. Our staff will manage those. These are for more small, trash items that you need to place while you're unloading your booth. Out on our loading docks, we have open top dumpsters, recycle compactor, and a trash compactor. There are signs above those that note what can go in all of those different receptacles. Please pay attention to that so that you're not putting something that should be in an open top in the trash compactor. That's just a big issue, so just read the signs, please. Pallets, large wooden crates, carpet padding, and carpet rolls are not to be disposed of in the convention center trash cans. And then Freeman also touched on this, but our staff does not go into your booth to clean. So If you need to get your booth cleaned, your trash taken care of, please order that porter service through Freeman. And then this isn't on here, but just want to make note, we have terrazzo floor in our building and we're very proud of keeping our building nice and clean. So if you're bringing any objects in, they either need to be hand carried or transported on carts that have the rubber or polypropylene wheels to avoid damaging the floor. The convention center does not provide any carts for the transport of objects being brought in by an exhibitor. So if you need to transport something, please keep that in mind. Okay. Food and beverage inside your booth. So RK Catering is our exclusive caterer for the building. Any food that you are trying to order needs to go through them. Their information should be on the exhibitor aspect of PitCon's site. Alcohol in any way for consumption or for a giveaway must also come through RK. And then if you're having alcohol service in your booth for like a reception or happy hour or whatever you might be doing, SAPD off duty is required. Their information will be on the BEO that you get from RK. If there's a generic product that you'd like to solve or to serve in your booth that's not offered through RK, just reach out to them, have that conversation. They might be able to provide it to you just via a corkage fee. These rules also apply to if any auxiliary spaces are being used in the building as well. And then just a quick note of some prohibited items. So smoking and vaping is not permitted in our building. There are designated areas outside that you can use if you need to take care of that. We just ask that you're at least 25 feet away from the building. We ask that you please do not ride any bikes, scooters, skateboards, or hoverboards inside the building, just for safety purposes. And then also on this list are drones. Drones are not allowed to be flown anywhere inside the building. If you're trying to fly them outside the building, we also have to get approval for that, but not inside the building at all. And then lastly, we love a good balloon display, but if you're using balloons in your booth, we ask that they are filled with air and not helium, since helium balloons are not allowed in our building. So I know that was a quick overview of some of our policies and procedures for the building. I guess we'll do questions at the end if you have any for me. But at that, I will pass this over to Karen with Visit San Antonio.